Say for yourself.
Pushing and shoving, that's what Bernard Madoff came home to after making a brief appearance in a Manhattan federal court Wednesday.
Sir, how do you feel?
Madoff now has a curfew and an ankle bracelet to monitor his every move. But as he remains free on bail, his investors continue to reel from the estimated $50 billion hit they've taken.
You know, I actually think I would not be able to speak calmly to him.
It's fair to say most investors who entrusted their money with Madoff feel the same way.
I cannot imagine that somebody could go to sleep at night knowing that he was defrauding not just a lot of individuals, of their entire savings of a lifetime of work and putting the rest of their lives in great jeopardy, but also defrauding an enormous number of charities.
Real estate billionaire MORT Zuckerman's charitable organization took a $30 million loss. Other high-profile donors suffered similar losses. Filmmaker Steven Spielberg, Mets owner Fred Wilpon, and the list goes on and on. The lack of funding has even forced charitable organizations like the humanitarian JEHT Foundation in Manhattan to close their doors.
And it's not just about a few wealthy donors a few wealthy investors who have lost their money. It's about really impacts on our whole civil society by the loss of this money. And clearly in the case of this foundation, that's the primary impact.
It's unclear how much money, if any, investors will recuperate from this loss. There is a special fund set up by the government that can return as much as $500,000 back to each investor, but there's only $1.6 billion in that fund pool, so there may not be enough to go around. Securities Investor Protection Corporation President Stephen Harbeck says they're working as fast as they can to assess Madoff's assets and get some money back to investors, but it doesn't look good.
I have no immediate good news for them, and I wish I did. The stories we hear from people who call my office and who call me are absolutely heartbreaking. There are people who entrusted all of their financial assets to this brokerage firm, and they cannot have access to them immediately. I wish I had better news.
But given the magnitude and dollar amount of this crime, attorney Stephen Caruso doubts investors will see much of their money back. Their only comfort at this point may be in knowing that Madoff, if convicted, is likely to face a long time in jail.
If I had to guess at this point in time, I would say he's probably going to be facing 50 years in jail, if not more, which given his age is going to be the equivalent of a death sentence.
Are you sorry for what you did?
One man's decade-long scam has now snowballed into what is known as one of the most egregious financial crimes in U.S. history. In New York, Bonnie Ghosh, The Associated Press.
Mr. Madoff, what would you say to all those people that